Just hours before the two candidates' debate, WikiLeaks releasing more embarrassing emails from the hacked account of Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta. One email chain showing campaign insiders worried about Clinton's slip-ups on the trail and her ability to keep track of her own positions. Top Clinton advisor Neera Tanden writing, quote, "It worries me more that she doesn't seem to know what planet we all are living in the moment." Chief National Correspondent Ed Henry is here with the latest on the email dump. Ed?
Good evening, Brett. Over 20,000 emails and counting, including new ones today, raising more questions about conflicts of interest at the Clinton Foundation. We learned for the first time as well that last year Clinton aides drafted an open letter to the American people from Clinton expressing regret for the email scandal, but of course she never signed off on it, so the controversy lingered. Then there are those anti-Catholic comments that Cardinal Dolan decided to tee off on. Watch.
The remarks attributed to John Podesta, who is Mrs. Clinton's chief of staff, are just extraordinarily patronizing and insulting to Catholics. What he would say is offensive. And if it had been said about the Jewish community, if it had been said about the Islamic community, within 10 minutes there would have been an apology.
Now, he was lashing out at an email where a Podesta friend went after our own chairman, Rupert Murdoch, for raising his kids Catholic, charging, quote, "It's an amazing bastardization of the faith. They must be attracted to the systematic thought and severely backwards gender relations, and must be totally unaware of Christian democracy." Clinton aide Jennifer Palmieri fired back to that, quote, "I imagine they think it is the most socially acceptable, politically conservative religion. Their rich friends wouldn't understand if they became evangelicals." Today, Podesta all but confirmed another slam, saying he was mad at Bernie Sanders over climate change, but is basically sorry about calling him a doofus. Brett, Megan?
Oh, boy. Ed, thank you. For more on all of this, Mark Thiessen is here. He's a Fox News contributor and American Enterprise Institute scholar. Mo Alithi is also here. He's a former traveling press secretary for Clinton's 2008 campaign and a brand new Fox News contributor. Great to see you guys.
Good to see you.
So let me start with you, Mo, on this. And in particular, Cardinal Dolan coming out and in not mincing words. I mean, you heard him there. This is offensive. It's insulting. It's patronizing. And you tell me whether he's right, that if this had been said something equally offensive about Muslims, there would have been an apology within 10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. And I thought it was really interesting. As you know, Megan, I've got a long relationship with Tim Kaine, the vice presidential nominee, and he came out today. He's an incredibly devout Catholic. Takes his faith very, very seriously. And he said, I don't think an apology is necessary, because what they were essentially getting at here was just a difference in opinion with the Catholic hierarchy.
It's an amazing bastardization of the faith that the Catholics must be attracted to systemic thought and severely backwards gender relations?
Well, look, I remember being there watching the battle over the contraceptive mandate, which was my understanding, the timing that's at question here. And there was a lot of heated back and forth within the Catholic community over this issue.
But the government generally needs to shut the hell up about that. I mean, the government's job is not to interfere with how people practice their religion or challenge the tenets of it.
No, but that's true. But what's also true is you oftentimes see in government efforts to organize groups of people to support a position. And so organizing a group of Catholics to come out in support of this, to share their perspective, is not the most uncommon thing. And both sides do that at various points in the political process.
Okay, Mark, your way in.
Yeah, apparently Hillary Clinton's basket of deplorables includes all faithful Roman Catholics. This is anti-Catholic bigotry. I think Archbishop Chaput in Philadelphia called it that, anti-Catholic bigotry. But it's not just. I mean, if this had been said about Muslims, about Jews, about Hindus, people would be excommunicated politically over this. But it's not just about religious bigotry. It's also about religious liberty. Hillary Clinton said when she launched her campaign, she gave a speech to a women's group in which she said that Catholics who hold these views, their religious views have to change. That is the most radical statement against religious liberty uttered by any presidential candidate in modern times. It is not her place to tell Catholics what they should believe. And this is a woman who, if elected, is immediately going to replace Justice Antonin Scalia. She could appoint as many as 4 Supreme Court justices. And do you think she's going to appoint people who respect the religious liberty of people who she thinks are backwards? I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. The substance is important. What do you make of Senator Marco Rubio's statement that you shouldn't be looking into and talking about the details of these emails because it could be Republicans next?
It's absolutely true. Look, WikiLeaks is a criminal enterprise. Absolutely. I mean, Republicans are very happy now that they're releasing all these things about the Democrats. They weren't so happy a few years ago when they were releasing national security secrets. So WikiLeaks is not a good organization, but that's a really good tactic by the Clinton team to make this point, because
this is Senator Rubio.
Well, I know what Senator Rubio said it too, and I respect him. But the Clinton team's response to this is a Russian effort to influence the American election. And so when journalists don't cover this, they're not batting down bad news about Hillary Clinton. They're not helping the Vladimir Putin influence our election. So we can tamp this down because it's patriotic. We're not going to let him influence our election. So it's an excuse for them not to cover this story.
Brett?
He was a little late, by the way, Marco Rubio, in that conversation.
Yeah, he was a little late.
Weeks of revelations, and finally he found a conscience about it.
Do you pay to how information got out? I always took the view in my investigative reporter days, a long time ago, that the source didn't matter as long as you were certain that the material, the facts alleged, were correct, that you made the story your own. In this case, no one is disputing this. I mean, one of the most striking things about this from the beginning of these leaks has been no one in the Clinton camp, no one affected, John Podesta least of all, has said that this material is bogus. So we know it's real, which means that the toothpaste is out of the tube. With social media and all the other outlets that are available today, there's really no way we can stop it from being seen and known to people. And so the course of action advocated by Marco Rubio, it seems to me, is honorable perhaps, but quixotic.